bridge crossing was awful. Welcome to Wales. Front mech has just run out of battery. Oh, this could be a classic Komoot. Porridge pot I brought to have in the morning has exploded. I think I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So here we go. A 250-mile round trip to visit the Welsh Cake Hut in South Wales. The cool cats from Morocco are back, and they're still covered in some of that Moroccan dust, but these will let me be a little bit more comfortable during the trip and take some pressure off my hands. For the first part of this route, I'm heading north out of the New Forest, up to Salisbury, Cairn, Stroud, Gloucester. Loads of roads I've probably never ridden before once I get beyond Salisbury. A route that I planned on Komoot, so goodness knows where it's actually going to take me. Hello, horsey. Hopefully no hideous little footpaths, and hopefully, well, mostly all paved. Once I get to Gloucester, it's a little push west and then south again to the Pontypool area, to where I'm going to stay tonight in the luxury of a Premier Inn. When I planned this ride a few weeks ago, I was hoping for some glorious spring sunshine and warmth, but it's pretty chilly and it feels like we've regressed to winter, so the thought of sleeping outdoors was a no, and I'll take that warm, luxurious Premier Inn any day. Here's some prime New Forest road surface right here. Probably the worst bit in the whole area. First little mini climb coming up near Fording Bridge in the New Forest. Got to remember to try and keep it easy because there's still about 140 miles to go today. I don't actually really know what sort of climbing I'm going to be doing. Bit of a classic, probably pushed a bit harder than I should have on that climb. And about 20 minutes in, and I already need a wee. You go before you go out, and then shortly after you need another one. Sandy balls. Oh, I've just gone down a road that says it's shut, which isn't ideal. Hopefully they'll let me through at the bottom. Hopefully they'll let me through, and I'm already running about an hour behind schedule. So I'm slightly worried I'm not going to get there before it gets dark. So why am I doing this ride? Well, it's a chance to get out and spend a bit more time on the bike. A mini multi-day trip. Try and refine some things on my new bike. Test out some kit, test out some eating, and enjoy some new roads. Thought it's probably my next long event, which is a solstice sprint in June, which is 1,000 kilometers. This little trip's about 400, but I'll probably be cycling a lot less today than I plan to in that race. And by riding it this way, as opposed to two loops, one day after the next from home, I get to take in some new roads, have a little bit of an adventure, which in itself brings a nice bit of motivation and excitement. So who knows what this route has in store. I always have a real sense of urgency when I start a ride like this. Just have to settle into it. Remember, I've got all day to get there. It's not a rush. Taking the scenery, not push too hard, and just enjoy it. We're underway on the Haribo. Just had the first silly little Komoot detour going into Salisbury, little pointless, almost out and back bit to avoid a bit of road, onto the drag into Salisbury. This is going to be an interesting bit to see where Komoot's taking me. Now we're into Salisbury proper, Salisbury Cathedral. Oh yes, first bit of gravel. Bit of cycle path that wanted to take me down is shut. It's been resurfaced, so back into Salisbury area, trying to find a route through to get back to that path. And again, sort of getting out of Salisbury is now turning into a bit of a challenge. This is more like it. Through Salisbury, time to make a start on the peanut butter. Onto some lesser ridden roads now, and I think this one is part of the King Alfred Way. That was Amesbury. More red lights, more stop-start. Coming through these busier areas, adding a lot more time to my trip. Beyond any roads that I know now, into the unknown, the adventure begins in Wiltshire. Just over 2 hours in, 35 miles done. It's 25%. Maybe another 6 to 7 hours, we'll be in Pontypool. Tanks crossing. My bike feels a bit like a tank today with a tail thing on the back. Although I'm not carrying a huge amount of stuff, still has a noticeable amount of weight, especially when you're going uphill. So that was a quick little lunch in Up Avon. Chicken wrap, some more water, and now about 100 miles to the Premier Inn. Not quite sure where I am now, but it's been quite a few miles of these lovely quiet country lanes. Looks like there could be some hills coming up in the distance. Onto yet another closed road. Hopefully we'll be able to get through this one. Looks like a new water pipe on this one rather than just the old tar and chip. A smile can get you far. The lads at the road closure just waved me through, which is very kind, because I've no idea where I'd have gone if I had to divert around that. Perhaps they'd heard about the Welsh Cake mission. Now just passing through the metropolis of Cairn. The old Komoot route's taken me a bit of a weird way. Kind of just missed out the whole of the town centre. Appear to have entered the realm of the short, sharp climb. That's a good one. Dumb post in. My cousin just texted me to ask why I'm cycling to Wales to get a cake. I can't work out if she's asking me why, or she's saying, why on earth are you cycling to Wales? Nice bit of manure all across this road. And there's the M4, feels slightly significant, and that is the road to Wales. This is looking a bit more Komooty. Said it was a dead end a minute ago. Some prime Komooting. And to mark what is about the halfway point, 50% of today's riding done, 70 miles left to go, about 4 hours, 20 minutes to get where I am now. Just a little bit of gravel, and we're back onto the tarmac again. Tetbury. Into these very small little wooded lanes. Not quite sure where I am. I'm guessing it might be the Cotswolds. Who knows? So we're out of Wiltshire and now into Gloucestershire. Stroud's about 6 miles away. Then after that, onto Gloucester. Been going up this really long drag for the last few miles. I think it might be nearly at the top of it. I'm going to be heading onto a bit of a busier road. There's some lovely views down into that valley and all around. Looks like got a big dipper coming up. In Stroud now, and it's pretty much a traffic jam. So we're out of the traffic jam. Well, not really actually, it's coming up again. We're going straight into a big climb. Nearly at the top of this lump, but it's been the smoothest bit of road I think I've had all ride. Hopefully the way down will be like this. There'll probably just be some horrible little gravel path. I can't get any speed up. So yeah, the descent's a dirty, gravelly, potholed filled lane, which is a bit disappointing after that slog up that hill. I think I'll drop down, there's a little bit of flattish, and then there's another big climb. So we head towards Gloucester. It's the M5, the M5. Not quite sure where I am now. Guess it could be the outskirts of Gloucester. Might have to stop in a minute to get a bit more water. Maybe a cheeky bottle of Coke. Oh, Londis. So that was a little mini refill at Londis. Classic petrol station snacking. Off the main road, going down this canal path heading north and into Gloucester. Well, there's some places on there I've been before when I've been in and out of Wales on the Pan Celtic, closing in on the border somewhere. But that's 100 miles, a ton, 6 hours, 23, hopefully about another 40 miles left. I've got another big climb coming up, and I guess it could be that monster there, what's looming in the distance. That's about 75% of the distance today on the quest for the Welsh Cake. Another Komoot classic, took me off this lovely fast descent, just ran this little diversion on a small little lane, which was then a really rocky, gravelly pothole lane. It was really steep, couldn't get any speed on it. So I'm going to try and stay on this big road for a bit, I think. Oh, this is another tough climb. Hopefully, almost at the top of it now. This has got to be a Komoot special. I think we're just cresting that hill, and looks like we could have a descent on maybe some good roads. Oh, you can see the big mountains in the distance, but not visiting them on this trip, hopefully. If I do, I've probably made a bit of a routing error. Oh yeah! Guessing this could be the Wye Valley. That was a really good descent. Actually got some good speed up. Regained a little bit of average speed. Definitely been a change in scenery. Big green rolling hills. Lovely scenic bit now down the side of a dual carriageway. It's got more scenic straight down the dual carriageway now. Welcome to Wales on the dual carriageway. Back off the dual carriageway now. It was only a few years ago I used to come here and race on the dual carriageway slightly further down, and I think we go through Raglan, which is where some of those TTs went. But it got me a nice 30 mile an hour for a few miles, which can't be sniffed at. Coming through Monmouth now. If there's a theme for this ride, it's closed road. But this bit of road might not actually be a new bit for me. I think this is a reverse of a 50-mile time trial course. So I had a slight little miscalc. Rather than it being about 7 miles from here to the premiere, I think it's about 13. Slightly annoying, but I guess not too bad in the grand scheme of things. We're now coming into Usk. This is where my route splits, and one bit goes off to Pontypool for the night, the other bit's the way home tomorrow. So I've just got to get this bit right, otherwise it'll be a bad night. Onto these lovely, quiet Welsh country roads again. Hopefully this is the final medium, moderate size hill before we reach Pontypool, or actually I think it's Quimbarn, where we will find the premiere. Wouldn't want to be bivvying in there. Oh, that wasn't the biggest climb of the trip. I think it's about 150 meters, but with my legs feeling it, that was pretty tough. Just having a little moment. Only a couple of miles to go, but I think I got behind waiting. Having a little refuel on this 1 in 6 climb. Weirdly, if it had been 140 miles like I originally thought, I think I might have just about made it there without that little moment. Oh, and there it is, the Oasis Premier Inn. And there it is, the luxury of the Premier Inn. Oh, glad I'm not bivvying out tonight because it's pretty chilly. But annoyingly, the porridge pot I brought to have in the morning has exploded in my bag and gone everywhere. Everything's now covered in porridge dust. Anyway, time to shower, get some food. See you tomorrow. Day 2, and it's raining, chilly, and a bit like winter again. I'm just going to ride down to where I think I can get these Welsh cakes from, and then head home. Managed to salvage some of my porridge pot by pouring out the dust and porridge from my tail fins. I've had that for breakfast. But my rain jacket's covered in milk powder, so with this bit of rain I'm not quite sure what state I'm going to end up in. Whew, but it is chilly, very chilly. This is the shopping centre somewhere down here. Got to find the entrance and hopefully it'll let me in on my bike. I think that could be it over there. You alright?
How you doing, mate?
Not bad. Made it here. I've got my Welsh cakes and I'm going to be riding home. So that is the goods secured. Oops, I appear to be going up a one-way street. So now we ride back up to the hotel area, and then we commence the escape from Wales back over those few short, sharp climbs that we came over last night, and then back to Usk. And after that I think we go up a pretty big climb before heading towards the Severn Bridge. Winter gloves gone back on because it's chilly, and we're straight into this steep climb out of the Pontypool area, which we came down last night. Whoa, what a warm up. That's like 20% climb. The route today is 108 miles back home. My feet are now soaked, so they're freezing cold, and it's a balmy 5 degrees. Just coming up to one of the first big climbs of the day. I think it's about 200 meters elevation gain, drops down a bit, climbs again, then I think we roll down to the Severn Bridge. Woohoo! Well, this climb looks scarily steep. Oh, it's not very often I have to get off and push on the road bike, but this hill is mega steep, slippy, can't get any traction. God, look at that, basically vertical. Oh, this could be a classic Komoot. It's actually a struggle to walk in cleats up here. Oh dear, I was looking forward to a nice fast descent after that, but it's taking me down this sort of half destroyed gravelly road. We're rolling again, and this is some proper Welsh weather. On and off rain. It's still reasonably high-ish, I guess, so maybe a bit closer to those clouds. I thought we were done with winter, but it's now 4 degrees and raining. I'm going down a hill and I'm freezing. Severn Bridge, looming into view in the misty cloud as we dash for the border. Oh, it's blowy up here. I just realised it's not actually the Severn Bridge, it's the old Severn Bridge, because the other one's down there. Slightly different way to how I thought I was coming. Back in England. Oh, that bridge crossing was awful. England. Welsh Cakes got across the border. We're now working my way down to Bristol. Still raining, still cold. I got a bit of Destiny's Child on the Radio 1, which is getting me pumped. Back in the urban, Bradley Stoke, wherever that is. Weaving my way around these housing estates. Cool cats are taking a bit of a battering in this rain. Oh, that was a very frustrating last stretch. Lots of stopping and starting, weaving through houses, a couple of wrong turns. But now we're on that disused railway line between Bristol and Bath. Hopefully we can crack out a few miles without having to stop too much. On that disused railway line, going alright, a little bit stop start because of people on other bikes, dogs, etc. It's nice and flat, and it's got slightly warmer. We're up to 8 degrees, so we've kind of doubled in temperature since the start. The sun is temporarily out and my feet are maybe thawing out slightly. Now down by the Bristol Bath Canal, now in Bath, in the old railway tunnel, which saves us going up a massive hill. Second tunnel. I think I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just over halfway now through Bristol Bath. I think the next stop's Warminster. Taking about 4 hours, a bit of a slow average speed, but I put that down to those hills in Wales at the start and that grim weather at sort of start of the day, cold, wet and windy. Now it's cold and windy. Front mech has just run out of battery, which is an interesting development, which isn't great considering there's still a few big hills to come. Mysterious bit of commuting, and I just smashed down 5 Welsh Cakes. Warminster. Just gone through the little village of Wiley onto some lesser ridden but familiar roads, so it sort of feels like I'm getting back towards home now. Wilton. Time for a couple of pretty, well, moderate sized hills compared to Wales, but big for around here. Battery switched out and in the low gear. First climb is out of Wilton. It's not a super long climb, it's just really steep, and if anyone did the Pan Celtic they might remember it from this. So let's get our head down and get to the top. Might be able to see the wall coming up in the distance, and that's the top of the hill out of Wilton, and we're now approaching my favourite set of trees, which looks even more impressive when it's got leaves on it, but at the moment it's still looking pretty wintry. The theme of the day. We go broad chalk, the last proper climb of the ride. It's kind of a three-parter. It starts off steep, levels out, and then gets steep again at the end. There's normally some lovely views from the top. When I came down here the other week, when I did my video about motivation, it's one of my favourite climbs, but maybe not as good today, as my legs are feeling tight. That's the top of broad chalk, the last big climb of the ride. So now I've got a very fast downhill, then it's kind of rolling back to the New Forest. Not going to bother changing my front mech again, so it's going to be a case of just rolling down this hill, probably spinning out at the bottom. Oh, we're almost there though. We're almost there. Those last two hills weren't actually that bad. They were really put into perspective by those hills in Wales and the Cotswolds. We're rolling now though, 20 mile an hour, spinning. Hopefully only, I don't know, another 10 miles or so, and we'll be home. Let's hit 100 miles for the day. A bit slower, 6 hours 40, but there was a very slow start, including walking up that hill, so I've kind of pulled the average speed back a little bit more. 15 miles an hour average so far. That's me back in the New Forest. Be about 255 miles that I've done yesterday and today. A really good little adventure, even though this morning the first couple of hours were absolutely awful. Probably some of the worst riding I've done all winter, even though we're well into spring. Still got a few Welsh cakes left. I can really recommend the Welsh Cake Hut. They were lovely. Hopefully this has inspired you to get out there and have a little adventure. But for now, heads down, get home, get clean. Oh, and of course that's to chuck it down the last couple of miles before home. But there you go. That's cycling and that's adventuring.